I think you're going to love this project today because I'm really excited about it. I do love grafting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can suspend some letters in something and then get them to glow in the dark as well while they're suspended. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do words or whether I'm going to just have random letters in there. But I'm going to use these small letters. I will link them in the description below. I'm not sure even who they're by. I've had these quite a long time. And then I'm going to show you how to attach them and suspend them as well in the resin. Because obviously these will probably float or sink depending on what we're going to use. I'm going to be using some glow-in-the-dark powders, but not dark colours. I don't want to use dark colours for this. First thing to do, PPE, and get our bits, some gloves on and some mask on to make sure we're lovely and safe. My Resin's air purifier is always on, so that's on as well, helping out. I'm going to be using the 4-hour demold for this. I want it to cure up really nice and quickly so I can move on to the next stage. Now, it's really quite cold in my studio today. Unfortunately, the weather here has turned really, really cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these bottles into my Resin's bottle warmer first for about 15 minutes. And that will help to warm up my resin. And I'm going to have it at 38 degrees centigrade. Pop my lid down. Even though these bottles are bigger than what that lid capacity, that lid really makes a big difference. If you've got slightly smaller bottles, then you've got no problem. But other than that, that's fine. Even if you don't have the lid on, really. But I just want it to catch the condensation. Now, you might think, oh, another gadget and blah, blah, blah. Get a bottle warmer. Well, you can get baby bottle warmers. But when I looked them up, any as good as this are more expensive. This is actually a better price. I'll link it in the description. If I've got a discount code, I'll link that as well. So I'm going to leave that for 15 minutes to warm that up. And now I can decide what colours of glow in the dark I want. I think I'm going to have quite a range of light colours. What colour's that? Blue. I love these ones because they've got the colours written on them. Red, lemon, blue. I mean, the red is more of a pinky red. Red, lemon, blue. Kiwi. I have no idea what colour kiwi is, so I'm going to put that there as well. So they're the colours I'm going to be using. Once my resin's warmed up, I can then show you what I'm going to do next. So while that's warming up, what I'm going to do is just prep my powders. Now, I have found that you need quite a bit of powder in these to get a really good glow. And this powder can go a little bit gritty sometimes, but I'm not too worried about that. And it doesn't matter how much dry ingredient you put in with resin, it isn't going to affect the curing of the resin. It's wet ingredients like colours and things like that and pigment pastes that can cause problems. So don't ever worry that you're putting too much of a dry powder in. Yep, that should be enough of each one of those. And now we'll just wait for the resin. It's got 6 minutes left and then it should be at a really good temperature. Well, that's finished now. It's had its time and that should be warmed up. Now, what I always recommend is whenever you've done a water bath, whether it's in something like this, then always dry your bottles off first. Look, that has made massive difference in there to prevent any water dripping anywhere that you don't want it. So we'll just dry them off first. Put the lid back on there. That will keep that water slightly warm. And if I want to use it again, I can just turn it on. Now I'm going to be mixing up a lot more than I need today because I've got another project on the go. I'm actually using these really large measuring cups and I've checked them and their measurements are very accurate and a lot aren't. A lot you buy on the internet now aren't that accurate. Oh, that's pouring really well. So I'm going to be using some of this resin out of here, but most of it's going into another project I've got on the go. Pop that in my mixer for 4 minutes and then we can go from there. And they sit on your mixer really well, these do. And they fit great in your bubble removing machines because they're that much deeper and also larger. So that's finished mixing now. I'll lift that up. I'll let that run off in there. There's a few micro bubbles in there. But because our resin's nice and thin, because we heated it up, there's not that many. And also the mixer doesn't actually mix many into it at all. I find I mix far more bubbles into it when I do it by hand. Let's take that off and now give that a bit of a wipe over with baby wipe and then it's good to go for next time. Don't leave your resin to cure on these blades. It doesn't work as well as cleaning them up straight away. I'll give it a quick spray with the big wipe spray. And I've got black ink all over my hands from the project I'm also working on. So that should help get rid of that. And then I'm going to quickly change my gloves. I love that big wipe spray. Oh, I wish they'd sponsor me so I could get it free. Anyone work for Big Wipes, tell them I use it a lot to sponsor me so I can get it for free because I use it in both studios. So that blade's all nice and clean now. I'm ready to use next time. I can pop this in my resin degasser if I wish to. But what I'm going to do first is put my resin into these little jugs that I've got, ready to mix it up, because don't forget this is a 4-hour demold resin, so as a result this is going to cure up really quickly, and we want to make sure that we've got this decanted out, because if you decant your resin it definitely helps prolong its pot time. Oh look, I'm getting that black everywhere. Oh, for goodness. Now that's in there, I'm ready to give that a good mix up in there. Make sure that powder is evenly distributed throughout. Make sure you give it a really good mix. The last thing you want to do is not have your powder mixed right the way through and have a load of powder left on the bottom. So they're all nicely mixed up now, and what I'm going to do is start to pour these in, and I'm doing them as random colours. Probably be a lot easier than that to use a pipette actually, because if not I'm going to over pour all of them. Don't forget to wipe your tip when you're using a pipette if you've got a lot on the tip. Oh yeah, that is much easier. So I'm going to go along, I'll fill those up, and then I'll come back to you. Well, they look pretty already, I think. So what I'm going to do is, now I've filled them all up, is just go over them with a long neck lighter and burst any bubbles. When you're making small letters like this, they are prone to trapping bubbles in places. Worth doing this a couple of times. That one needs filling up a little bit more, I think. There we go. So they're all nicely filled up now. I'm going to give those, quickly go over those. And now I'm going to leave these to cure up, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next with them. These letters are all cured now, so I can start to demold them. And they should all glow in the dark really, really well. I love these letters. The only reason I'm not going to be using these ones is because it means I've got to make a few more sets of them to get the words that I want, where these ones have already got several of each letter on there. But I will undo them. I might mix them in with what I'm going to use, but they do look good. Well, I've worked out what I want to put. I've got Dogs I Love, which they are in my house, and Crafting Home. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to put these ones together, and then how I'm going to set these ones in. And then once they're done, we can see how well they glow. The spare letters I'm going to keep, because when I get spare resin, I'm going to start filling these up, and I'm going to try and get a whole box full of them. So what I've got here is one of the smallest little drill bits I could find from my Dremel. And I'm going to drill some holes through these letters. And I want to make sure I drill them all in the same place. So I need to raise this up a little bit. I'll get a bit of wood. So I've got a bit of wood. I only need this on one of the lowest speeds. And now all I've got to do is slide that along that bit of wood. And then they'll all be drilled at the same angle. Not angle, height. And now I've got those all drilled at the top. So all I've got to do is exactly the same thing, but just turn the letter over and drill in the bottom. They're all done. What I'm going to do is give them a quick clean up my mat, and then I'll show you how I'm going to attach them all together. First thing I'm going to do is cut a bit of this thread that I know is long enough to go right the way through the first row. Doesn't have to be exact. And now I'm going to thread all my letters on here. And then just make sure I've got them all on in the right place and not upside down, because that is something I am so likely to do. And now I'm going to get a little bit of UV resin. Pour it out there. Get myself a micro brush with the end taken off it. And all I'm going to do is pop a little bit of UV resin next to each one of the holes, like that. And then move that letter up and down there a little bit. I need that wire to be straight more than curved. Now let's straighten that out a little bit like that. And now I'm going to work along all my letters like that. Again, doing that same thing. Give it a bit of a wiggle in there. And all that does is that just takes some of that UV resin underneath that letter. I want to try and equally space these out. So now I've got that done. What I'm going to do is cure that up for about 5 minutes. So they're all lovely and cured now, and all I need to do is push my thread along here, along the bottom line of holes, which is what I'm doing now. And then we can do the same thing with that one. Bit of the UV resin, and then cure them up. And I'll do the same for the home as well. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. While they're curing under there, I'm making up some UV resin dog paws. Not too thick. To pop in my Dogs of Love ornament I'm going to make. All I'm using for this is white UV resin. I'm not putting any sparkly in this. Well, these are all ready now, and I love the way that that has come out. To be honest, you could use it. You could put a bracelet end on there and use it as a bracelet, or have it hanging somewhere else. I think they've come out really, really well. What I'm going to do now is finish this Dogs Are Love off. And I'm also going to suspend those Craft in Our Home in this great big long sweetie mold. Of course, I need to use a deep pour with this as well, but I need to prep first to have everything suspended, and that's really easy to do. All I'm going to be using for that is a couple of lolly sticks. I've just washed this out, so I need to dry it. I've drilled a couple of holes in there, and all I'm going to do now is thread my wire that's attached to these on the top of those through there. And I'm never sure whether it should read from top to bottom like that or from bottom to top. So I'm doing it so when it's upside, when it's turned the right way up, it's going to be from top to bottom like that. I'm never really sure which way it should be. Which way do you think it should be? Which way would you do it? Let me know in the comments. Then that way I might know for in future. So now I know that that's the way it's going to go. I'm going to trim off the end ones completely because they don't need to be there. Like that. And then that can suspend there. Let's see how far down I want it to go. I want about that much space between them. All I'm doing is sealing them up using the UV resin again. So I've got that sealed completely there now. And it falls and fits in there just how I want it. I was going to put the home in there as well, but I've decided that would be too much. What I'm going to do now is pop some of my resin in. I've got it mixed up, and this is a deep pour resin. It needs to be a deep pour resin when you're using a mold this big. Filled it up a little way because I want to make sure that I've squidgy-widgied all the air bubbles out of that, because I want a nice clear finish at the end, because I want it to be a double light. I'll put a bit more in. And then I'm going to let those bubbles come to the top that I've squeezed out of there before I put any more in. And the great thing about a deep pour, I mixed that up about 10 minutes ago, but the great thing about a deep pour is you get about an hour and 40 minutes working time for it. So you can afford to do things like this even though you've mixed up that volume. Just giving it a bit of a tappy-wappy. And that will bring all those bubbles into the center and help them to rise as well. So I've filled that up now. I've placed my stick in, and the stick is slightly proud of the resin that I've just poured in. So there's a slight gap underneath that, because the last thing I want to do is stick that stick so it's stuck on there. Stick that stick so it's stuck. The last thing I want to do is stick that stick to the resin underneath. I want to make sure it is completely clear. I'm going to pull that out just a couple of times just to help release any bubbles that may be on it. I'll burn those bubbles off and then leave it to cure up for about 48 hours. And for this one, I'm going to have a backing of the Chameleon powder, and I'm using the Galaxy one. It'll be a nice contrast to the glow-in-the-dark letters. It'll give it a nice sparkle and also make it look, I think, quite pretty. You can be the judge of that for me. All I'm doing is brushing that on, making sure it's burnished, because it needs to be very well burnished on here. Get rid of any excess. And now the excess is gone, I'm going to burnish this all going the same way. That already looks pretty. Look at that, how pretty that is. It's all pretty. We don't really need to do anything special for this one to get those letters in, other than push them down once their resin's in there. So I'm going to mix up my resin. I'm going to use a 1-to-1 for this. I'm going to be using the Pure Glossy by Tea Expert for this, because I think it's probably going to be the best resin to use. I've put my resin in my Resiners degasser. It's at -99, which is where it needs to be for majority of resins. And I put it on for 5 minutes, because I would like this to be as bubble free as possible. It's only got another 3 minutes left, and then I'll show you how I'm going to pour it. Well, those have degassed now and they're bubble free. What'll happen is when I add these bits into it, I will probably put some bubbles into it, and I'll have to wait for those to come up and then I can burst them. But at least we know we're starting from a fairly bubble-free place. The other thing I want to make sure I do is to remove any bubbles from the corners. The air always gets trapped in corners. Let those come up. Any you see on the edges or in those corners, just move them out and let them come up to the top. And now we can put our little pieces in. I'm going to pop that in there and give it a good wiggle round where I want it. By wiggling it around, you're getting rid of any of the bubbles that are trapped underneath. And then we can do the same with the letters. Straighten them up a little bit. And now I can just finally top this one up. And then I'll leave it 5 minutes and then burn off any of the excess bubbles that come to the top. Well, these are all cured now and I can demold them. I hadn't noticed when I did this one, when I pushed these bits down, that I scraped away some of the Chameleon powder, which is a bit disappointing, but never mind. I'm going to put a backing on it. I think that will help. All this is that I'm using is the self-adhesive felt. Now, if I put that backing on there like that, and then it's got a nice felt background to it. Use it as a coaster or something similar. And now I can trim that up using a sharp blade. I can't wait to see what this one looks like. All I need to do is run that blade at an angle close to the edge. And then it gives a really nice finish. There we go. So we got a nice finish there. Shame about those little scratches. I would make sure I didn't do that going forward. So this one, all I need to do now is to cut that off. And that is now ready to demold. Pull that down. Now this is the tricky part always for this mold, is this neck. So be careful when you're doing that. If you're using it for something other than resin, this mold, be careful not to break it. So if it's resincrete or something like that, be careful not to break it. And I love, oh, look how the way that's come out. Although it has gone at a slight angle, but you can still see it says crafting. And again, there is no bubbles in that. Hardly at all. The other great thing about it is you can hardly see where you've put that plastic in there. And this I want to use as a light. So I want to use it as a light like that. So it says crafting in there. Those letters are floating in there nicely. And then when we turn the lights off, let's turn this light off as well. Those letters should, look how much is glowing in here. Those letters are definitely glowing. Look, dogs are love. They are glowing really well. And so are those ones in there. It's glowing so much, you can hardly... It's lighting the whole place up. But look at how much that is glowing in there. Dogs are love and crafting. It's such an easy way of suspending things in resin. I hope you've enjoyed this project as much as I have. I love doing things like this and testing out and doing something a little bit different. Check out the video I've got coming up next. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a great video on how to make a beautiful decoration that are very, very popular. Boom that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.